Okay, so we've got the bobbin in underneath, we've got the thread on top all set up through the tensioner and through the needle. Now I've got to get the top thread to catch the bottom thread and to pull it through the needle hole. And by holding the top thread still, like that, and turning the wheel one turn, and then pulling on the thread, there comes the yellow thread from underneath. Okay, now it needs to go aloft to the top left corner, and you want enough to go a bit further than the base of the sewing machine, so I've taken about that far. Might seem a bit of a waste of cotton, but it's better than unthreading itself when you start up. And the top one goes in the same position, through the slot in the presser foot and back to the left. And there we are, everybody, that's all set for going. Let's have a go with a piece of material. And then one cut out ready, did this earlier. It's a fairly thin cotton, it's double thickness, and if all goes well we will thicken it up as we go on, just to show you the capability of the machine. So, one of the questions that people come up with, or one of the comments that people make, is that if you've not got an automatic reversing device on the sewing machine, how do you start and finish the seams so that they don't untangle? Well, it's dead easy. Let's just do 3 stitches, and I'm going to wind by hand. 1, 2, 3, in fact we'll go 4. And then when the needle comes up and it gets to the top, the material will start to be pulled through by the dogs. Watch it happen. There it goes, it's just moved the material a bit. At that point, stop, hold the material still, lift the presser foot and take the material back to the beginning. And then sew over the first bit twice. And it should then go automatically. And I'll use the treadle. And we're going. We don't yet know whether the tension is correct, but because we've got plenty of material, let's go a fair way and we'll see what happens. Stop there. So let's have a look. Right, the top tension, or the top thread, looks perfect. When you can focus on it, you can see that okay, Nina? Underneath, it also looks fine, but if anything, between the stitches you can see a little blob of red. A yellow blob of red, yellow blob of red, which means that probably the red is going further through the material than what the yellow is. You can double check that by opening the material up and looking on the inside. Now there, I don't know how well you can see that, but there's more red showing than yellow. Okay, just there, look. So, we need to tighten the top tension a little bit so that the red pulls the yellow further into the material. Now I'm going to tighten it, drop the presser bar, about a quarter of a turn. That much. And we'll try it again, we'll do another row back and see what happens. We'll also cut off those loose ends. So we'll do 1 stitch along there and take it back. Very satisfying sound when one of these things going. Probably not keeping very straight. But hey, what the heck. Now let's have a look. Now put the two together, and it's not much difference. You can still see a little bit of the red showing. Let's have a look on the inside. Yeah, you see the red, but on the right hand side you can also see a little bit of the yellow. So we're not far out there. Does that show up on the camera okay? It's there. Right, so let's carry on. Do another one. one of the nice things about treadles is the easy way you control the speed. Electrics can be a bit vicious, they're either going flat out or not at all. With these things it's dead easy. That's slow going. Or if I want to speed it up, just wind away. And there we have it. Now, the chances are, when you're doing this on your own machine, you may find that it doesn't go as easy as what it has on this one. I mean, that's gone pretty well. Again, there's a bit of red showing through, but there's also a bit of yellow showing through this side. So we've got a nice tight stitch. Now, you're doing it at home, you put the bobbin in, you thread the top, you get your material and away you go, and the machine does something like this. If I can make it do it. Still sewing nicely. Let's have a quick look. Yeah. Right, I'm going to go all the way to the end. Have a good look at this. Now this is something which is quite common and a bit disturbing when you see it. Can you see that? Look here. What it means is the top tension is too slack. Just because the bird's nest effect is underneath the material doesn't have anything to do with the bottom thread, it's the top one, this tension here. And all I've got to do is tighten it back up again and it'll automatically close up those red thread loops. So let's do it again. Tighten up to about there and go back. If I over tighten the top one, there'll be too much yellow showing on top. Well, that looks okay on there, and that looks okay on there. Bit of red showing, just give it a bit more. Try that. And that's set. Now that should now be set for a pretty well any material, and to prove it, or to give you an idea of what it will do, I've got here a pair of my trousers I've cut up. I've worn the knees out, so this is the part of the leg, and I've got double thickness, the jean material, double thickness, and what I'm going to do is actually to make it 3 thicknesses. So you've got 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to sandwich it. In fact, I can go 4. Go like that, and we'll put 4 layers in the middle of this, which is about as thick as you're ever going to sew on anything that's sort of done at home. Put that in there like that, pull that over the top like that, and we should be all set. About there. Let's see what happens. So the trousers start there. And there you go. You hear the different noise it makes. Off the other end. And that's it. So, yeah, that's got them all hooked up. So the stitching stays the same all the way through, and it's just as good at the back as it is at the front. Job done. That's it. Yes.